I'm going to go over how to create the different mouths here in Photoshop. So when you choose a character, you're going to have something like this. You might have a mouth already in there that you are going to have to put in. And if so, you can always erase the mouth and put in something new by either using the clone tool or cutting it out and adding a new mouth. But with this guy, what we're going to do is just create the new mouths, right? So what I am going to do is make the mouths on separate layers. So I'm going to go to new layer, right, which is a Control Shift N, right? I'm going to call this something like maybe neutral or closed. I'll just call it closed. There we go. And then I'm going to use pen tool right here, or the brush tool rather. I'm going to make sure that it's black because that's what we need. I'm going to zoom in to make this mouth look right. I'm going to make sure it's on that closed layer, right? And what we want to do is make sure we have the right size, something like this. So what could closed be? It could be something like this, right? There we go. Maybe that's too much. Maybe we'll just do something like this for close, right? There we go. I don't like it. I think I like that. That can be our closed, right? Okay, good. So we got closed right there, right? So next we are going to do a new layer, and then we are going to make a ah. Which can look something like this, where we do this. Then maybe we do something like that. Looks more like a ah. There we go. It's a little something. Ah, like it. Okay. Next, we are going to have a new layer. We're going to call it O. All right, and O could just be a big circle. There you go. And there's O. So we have O, ah, and closed. All right, and you can do different mouth types as well. Like perhaps maybe you want to do a new layer and try and do something that looks more like an R. Oops. Let's get the new layer. And the R would look something. Let me go back to that. I think it's around 5. All right. R. There it is. Something like that. It's a little different from the O and the ah. R. Right? And that's how we do this. Now the next thing we want to do is, because all this stuff goes into After Effects alphanumerically, we should probably call something like body. All right, and we'll do 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, and 0, 5. Right, so we have this, and we're ready to do this. I'm going to go ahead and save this. And I'm going to save it to just the desktop, right? And I'm going to save it as a Photoshop file. I'm going to open up After Effects, and I'm going to give you guys another, I'm going to have you guys check out how to import it one more time, just in case you forgot how to do it. So what I'm going to do is right click in here, right? Import, file. And what I'm going to do is find what I want, which I left on the desktop. It was just called Allen Front, I believe. Where we have it, Allen Front. There we go. And we want to import this as a composition. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. And this is fine right here. So now what we have here, if we double click on Allen, we have him here with his different mouths, right? And we can do something here where we can, to stagger this thing out, this is at 34 seconds, perhaps maybe we only want it to be something like, I don't know, we'll just have it do 2 seconds. What would that, that'd be 15 frames per, yeah, we'll do 2 seconds. That's all we need for this, because we only need a couple of frames. I'm gonna go ahead and trim this up, trim all of this up. There we go. And I'm going to trim these down to 15 seconds. Or 15 frames, rather. All right, and then something we can do when we have this selected, kind of a trick, we can actually stagger these out by going to Animation, Keyframe Assistance. We have something called Sequence Layers, and if we do that, as you can see, it will sequence these layers out for us, right? Which is what we are after. It looks like I made this a little too long, but that's all right. We can do 6 seconds. But anyway, that helps with everything. So we have our, we can turn all these on. And we now have our neutral A, O, and R. Right? And we have some animation there. So there you go. And that's how we set this up.